Hey beauty lovers, I am back with today's video, and today is going to be a haul video. I've done some shopping over the last month or two, well, I mean over the past every month, but these are makeup things that I've collected over the last month or two, and I thought it'd be something fun to share. I have an Ulta Sephora Makeup Geek haul. So my Ulta one is mainly drugstore because these are things that I couldn't find at like Walgreens, and then the Sephora one is more high-end products, and then I got some of the Makeup Geek foiled shadows, which are beautiful, and I'm so glad that I did it. So let's start off with those actually. This is my Z palette, all my Makeup Geek shadows, and I've talked about these a bunch. I am in love with them. They're beautiful shadows, beautiful quality. Since I got my Lorac and Naked palette, I've like strayed away, but I'm really trying to get back into using these because they are so beautiful and pigmented and just like the perfect shadow. And I added to them with the foiled ones because they were getting great reviews, and I just love a really packed lid of like shimmer or like satin finish, and that is what these ones down here are. Those are the foiled. I separated them so it'd be easier to tell, and I'm gonna do some swatches. So the first one is Magic Act, and it is just this beautiful like metallic-y gold champagne color, and it is beautiful. The next one is In the Spotlight, and this is actually like, it looks peach, but when you put it on your lid it's more of a champagne color with like a rose gold tint, like a peachy tint. This next one is Showtime, and it's like a really pretty plum berry bronze color. Oh, these are so beautiful. This next one is Grandstand, and it's like a copper color. Oh man, I can't even get enough of these. And then the last one is Mesmerized, and that's probably one of my favorites out of them all. And here they all are. Look at that pigment. Like, they are just, that was one little like, you saw, and then it's one swipe down for all of them, and they are so beautiful. They just catch the light, and I love them. The other ones that there were more like fun colors, which I'm not a very big bright or like green, orangey colors aren't my jam, but I love these neutrals. They work with so many different things, and they really pack a punch on your lid. Like yesterday I wore the, which one was this? In the Spotlight, which is this one right here, with a like matte mid-tone, and then the last one Mesmerized out in the outer corner to give it some depth, and it was just beautiful, and I loved it, and they last all day, and I can't get enough of these. I'm really glad I got them because then it made me want to try the rest of my Makeup Geek shadows more and like find combinations in these that I hadn't tried before. So I am loving my Makeup Geek shadows, and the foiled ones are the ones that I got recently in my haul, so I thought I would mention them because they are great shadows, probably like better than any other shadow I've ever tried. They have more pigmentation and more punch than even my Naked and Lorac ones. They just have different shades in those, and that's why I like my palettes too. Anyway, let's get on to, I think I'm going to do Sephora or Ulta first because that's drugstore, and let's get on to that. So the first few things I got, so sad, I bought the NYX HD blush in taupe because I wanted to get like a drugstore bronzer cool tone to try so that I could see if there was any other out there than my Smashbox that I liked, and it came broken, like all crumbly, and I haven't figured out how to repress it, so I'm even too nervous to take off like the packaging to open it because I don't want it to go everywhere. So I can't decide if I'm going to return it or try and press it and possibly do a DIY. The only thing is I don't have any other broken makeup, so if like when I do this DIY, if it doesn't work on camera, then I don't have another option to show it. So I'm gonna really play around and find all the ways to repress powder and see if I can maybe make a video on it to be helpful if you have something like this happen to you, because when I ordered it, I don't think it was broken. So in the mail, it got trashed. So sad panda, because I can't try it out to see if it's a good contour or anything. The next thing I got is this Revlon Colorstay Liquid Eye Pen. You know I'm a huge fan of the Revlon liquid liner. This I use for my waterline. I wanted to try this because it's a felt tip, which is my favorite kind of liner to do for my wing. And I have talked about my Kat Von D Inkit liner. Well, this is kind of running out, so I thought I'd get this to try because my Jordana also ran out. And since I love Jordana and I love the Inkit and they're all felt tip, I thought I'd try Revlon because I love the liquid liner for Revlon so much. And I tried this yesterday. It's just not very black, and you have to press really hard to get anything to show up. Like, that's like 3 or 4 times trying. And it's really hard to press, so when I'm doing the line, if you press too hard, it like kind of goes jagged because your skin wrinkles, at least mine does. So I'm not sure that I'm loving this, which is kind of a bummer because Revlon's one of my favorite brands. So I'm a little bit bummed, but I'm going to keep trying to play around with it because maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe it just needs a couple like uses, or I need to practice more with it. But yeah, I was hoping that this could replace the Inkit so that I wouldn't have to repurchase that when it runs out, but it definitely didn't, and it definitely doesn't replace my Jordana. I can only find Jordana at Walgreens, and when I went to pick up another one, they were out, so that's why I decided to try this one. But sadly, it's not replacing it so far, so later on in the haul, you'll see something that I had to repurchase. The next thing from Ulta that I got is this NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I have never filled in my eyebrows before. They are super dark and thick as it is, but everyone is just in love with doing their brows, and I do have sparse areas towards the front of my brows, to where it kind of makes my brows look gray and black because I'm so pale that like the sparse areas my skin shows through and makes my brows look a little bit like gray with some black in it. So I got the darkest color, which I think is Espresso, yeah. And it's like what I've heard is a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So here's the brow part. And then on the other end, there's a spoolie. And I love spoolies. The only thing that I used to do with my brows would I would groom them in place with one of these, and then use clear brow gel just to hold them in place, because I also have really thick and like crazy brows that like to do whatever they want. But I have been using this for the last 3 days now, and I actually really like it. I don't fill in everywhere in my brow, I just do right here. So I don't know if you can tell a difference if you look in my past videos or not, but it doesn't look major. I don't see that huge of a difference. I just see that it all kind of like blends really well together and makes my eyebrows look like super nice and in place. So I am really liking this, and it's only $20, or sorry, and it's only $10, and the Anastasia one is like $20. So I can't give you a review if it's a dupe or not because I've never used the Anastasia, but I don't think that I would ever purchase it because I have this now and I really like it. So I'm actually pretty like surprised that I like this and glad that I picked it up. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on it so far. And then the next thing I got is also from NYX. It's the Matte Finish Spray. I picked up the L'Oreal Infallible Spray like a while ago, and I'm pretty sure I have that in a past haul video I've done. And I like it, but I've noticed that it doesn't work as well as my Urban Decay one. And I've also seen really, really great reviews on this one, and I know that Leanne Says loves this stuff and she uses it before she puts on her makeup, which I thought was a really great idea, and I started trying with my other sprays, so I thought I'd try this also. and I have been liking it. I've used it the last 2 days, and I've sprayed it before my makeup, and it's been working pretty well. I think tomorrow or another time that I do makeup where I use a spray, I'm going to try it after my makeup like I used to do to see if it has any differences, because if it does, then that's totally cool that she found like a new way to use setting spray, and you can put it before your makeup so that like the oil doesn't come out to begin with. Who knows? Yeah, it's pretty good. I like how it sprays, and it like has a funky smell though, but it's just like more astringent than like my other ones. The other ones kind of have like a nice smell, which I guess is good or bad depending on who you are. But this one does have a weird smell. It doesn't last long, it just is when you spray it and then it goes away, but that's something to look out for. And then the last thing I got from Ulta is this Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour Comfort Serum. I wear my foundations for a really long time. I wouldn't say anywhere near 25 hours because I think that's kind of ridiculous. I don't know that anyone needs that long a foundation, and if you do, holy moly man, like I'm sorry, because I hate wearing foundation that long. I love how it looks, I love foundations, it's probably one of my favorite things about makeup, but I could never wear it for 25 hours. And this just really reminds me of the Revlon Color Stay. I like the Revlon Color Stay, and I've used it in the past, but since I've found like other alternatives, I've switched over to those because it like gives me weird dry patches around my mouth. And this looks really nice. It has a really great finish. I think it's like a smidge too, not dark, but the wrong undertone for my skin. So it looks fine when you look at me straight on, but like when I was swatching it and like putting it on, if I put it on a different way, if I put it on starting from here out, it definitely will leave a contrast. So what I have to do is start from the middle in and blend out, which doesn't give me the coverage that I like necessarily, because I want medium to full coverage all over my face, not just in the middle after it's blended out, if that makes sense. So I do like it. It does have a good finish and it looks matte and it evens out my skin tone really well, but I wouldn't ever repurchase this, and I don't know that I'll ever finish this bottle because it's really hard to finish foundations even when you love them. And I have like 2 Holy Grail ones that I've been loving right now that I've been using. So I've been giving this a try because I've heard awesome things about it, and one of my friends actually recommended it, and I do like it, and it is quite long lasting, but I don't know that it's my favorite. It also has a terrible smell. Like it's really fragrancy, but like old flower fragrancy that's really sour. So it doesn't last on your face obviously, but while you're putting it on and blending it out, it's pretty terrible. It's also in a glass bottle and there's no pump, which I think that all makeup brands, no matter if it's drugstore or high-end, should just stop. Like stop right now. Nobody likes a glass bottle if it doesn't have a pump. There are some high-end products that have a glass bottle with a pump, and that's even 10 times better than something like this. But foundations that choose to do glass bottles, no pump, is probably the worst type of foundation bottle ever. It's super hard to get out, and glass is easily breakable, and since it's such a thick foundation, like you have to seriously like just shake the bottle upside down before it will come out. I love squeezy tubes like the L'Oreal Infallible or the Tarte Amazonian Clay. I don't know why everyone doesn't do something like that, because they still look good and they're super easy to control and use, and you can pretty much get everything out of them. With a glass bottle, it's like you get 70% use and the rest is just stuck in there because you can't get it out. So that's also a pretty big con to me. Smell, the bottle it's in, and that it's super thick with, it's kind of hard to blend. But since I use a beauty blender, it makes it a little bit easier, which is what I would recommend for really thick foundations like this or the Revlon Color Stay. Alright, enough blabbering about that foundation. Now let's move on to Sephora. I've only got 3 things from there because it's expensive, so like usually getting one thing is a lot of money, but I just needed to pick up some repurchases. I picked up another beauty blender. I cannot put on my makeup without this. I use this every single day, and I use it for my foundation. No matter what foundation it is, this is what I use to blend it in. I get like weird dry patches around my mouth and on my acne spots, so a beauty blender really helps tone that down and evenly distribute foundation to make it look really blended and flawless. And that's all I have to say about that, because beauty blenders are amazing and I just love them. Love them, love them, love them. Like I said earlier, I had a repurchase. I did get my Kat Von D ink liner. This one is pretty much running out. It takes like a few times like coloring in the lines, if you will, to get it to be the original black it was when I first used it. So I did repurchase it because it has become my favorite liner, and it just like locks in place. Like it does not move after you put it on, which is what I love, because one, I have pretty oily eyelids throughout the day, and two, I wear my makeup for a really long time. When I put on a full face of makeup, I'm expecting to wear that from when I put it on till probably like 11, 12 at night when I take it off. So I definitely love long-lasting products like this one. And then the last thing I got at Sephora, I have been looking for forever. Every time I go in, it's always out, and I love these Sephora Luster Matte Longwear lip colors. I have a different one and I can't remember the name. It's like Pink Luster or something like that, and I love it. And so finally I found the Fig Luster, which is this beautiful like mauve-y pink color, and it's what I'm wearing on my lips today. I think it suits my skin tone really well, because when I wear too pink of things, it makes me look more red. Like the pink one that I have of this, I love it, but I can only usually wear it like during spring or summer because of the like light and the weather out. But this one just like really makes my skin tone look like fresh and awake, and it really complements my eyes and my eye makeup. So I love this color. I've been trying to get it for the last like 3 or 4 times that I've gone into Sephora, and usually when they get their shipments in, I'm working, so I can't go in to pick it up. So I've been waiting forever for this, so I'm super excited that I finally got it, and I am in love with it. It's probably gonna be my favorite lip color to wear for like ever. But that is my haul. I hope you enjoyed. If you want any like really in-depth reviews on this or my opinions, please leave comments below, and I can do videos like worth the buy or just plain reviews, and I would love to do those for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.